Hey everyone, I just wanted to hop on here and make a video kind of going over your cover letter assignment that you have coming due very soon. So I just wanted to take a few minutes to show you a few things, okay? So in your module here, this is your week 3 module. I have some cover letter tips here. Highly recommend you checking them out. They cover a lot of things that will be required in your assignment. Some of the things include, one of the things you'll see actually twice on there is to make sure that you always proofread. One thing that future employers will never overlook is grammatical errors. So make sure you always proofread. And I'll pull it up in a second, but I just want to show you where it's at. With some along with some other really important things. But if you scroll down a little bit further, you'll see your cover letter assignment right here. So there's 2 attachments with your cover letter assignment. The actual assignment, which you will see, and then you'll see a job advertisement. So I would highly encourage you to write your cover letter like you're applying for a job that you would actually want. So do a quick Google search. Kind of look for jobs that are available in the industry that you're wanting to get in, and look for that job posting and apply for that job. I just think it would be more beneficial for you and get more experience in that area, but you definitely don't have to. If you don't want to do that, I have provided a job ad for you right here. Attached with the assignment. It's fictitious. I made it up myself. It's for a fictitious company, you'll see, and you can apply for that job. You can write your letter toward that job. Either way, it doesn't really matter to me, but just know that I feel like that you would get more information or more beneficial information from finding a job in your industry or in the industry that you are wanting to get in. And so this is what your assignment actually looks like. I kind of give you an example of what it should look like at the top to whomever you're writing the letter to. I just use my information right there. But if you look in your book on pages 457, if you have a hard copy book, if you have a digital book, then you don't really have the same page numbers. But in chapter 13, if you have a hard copy, it's 457, 458. But just in chapter 13 of your book, it gives you some great examples of cover letters. You'll see unsolicited and solicited. We are writing a solicited cover letter, and the difference is an unsolicited cover letter, you're not really applying or writing for a specific job. So it could be like, oh, I love you at PTC, and I would really like to work for that company. And so you might write an unsolicited letter to like the head of HR saying, this is my experience, my education. I really love what your company does, and would love the opportunity to work for you. So kind of just throwing yourself out there. If asking if they have any positions or whatever it may be. A solicited cover letter is kind of like when you were responding to like a job ad. So like the example that I gave you here for your job advertisement, you're writing for that specific job. So that's a solicited one, and that's what you'll be writing for this assignment, because that's what you do or would be doing for the majority time in life in general. For the most part, you're mostly writing solicited cover letters. So so that's why we're doing it that way. So make sure you check the tips out. A couple of things I'm going to go over with you real quick is that, once again, I mentioned always proofread. I mentioned on here using 1-inch margins all the way around. That's not right or wrong. It just looks better, and I'm going to give you an example in here in just a minute. But always relate your experience, whether it's work-related, volunteer-related, whatever it may be, to the job you're applying for. So what is relevant that you've done to the job that you are trying to get? Okay, so if you keep that in mind, it'll be a little bit easier for you. Because a lot of us have had several different jobs, and maybe you're not just out of high school. Maybe you're a non-traditional student and you've worked several jobs, and now you're going to get an accounting degree or whatever it may be, and your former experience or your previous experience doesn't have anything to do with what you're wanting to do. That's completely fine, but think about things you've done, Maybe you were a cashier at a grocery store. How can you apply that? How can you make that relevant to what you're wanting to do in accounting or whatever it may be? Okay. There's a lot of things that you probably don't think off just right off the top of your head that you don't think that would be relevant, but would be. So just kind of think about things that you've done and kind of gear it toward that way. Make the best use of your qualities, all right? Connect them to your work or real life experiences, all right? In your letter, repeat your qualifications that are specific to the job specifications, all right? So whatever that job is asked, saying that they're looking for, if you have some of that, make sure that you bring that up in your letter. Okay. So if it's wanting 5 to 10 years of customer service experience and you have customer service experience, make sure you highlight that in your cover letter. Okay. And I give you some more specifics about formatting too. So just make sure you check out these cover letter writing tips, if you will. If you reference your resume in your cover letter, which a lot of people do because a lot of times you'll send them together, make sure you add enclosure at the bottom. So you'll do your sincerely, you'll sign your name, and then you'll put enclosure after your name. That just lets them know that you have something else attached, if you will. I'm going to get out of this, and I'm going to show you a couple of examples that I have here pulled up. Just so you can kind of get some ideas of what a cover letter should look like. And I'm going to use, so this is just a formatted one, or regularly formatted one, nothing special. I just kind of threw some information together, and you see the white margins are 1 inch all the way around, so it kind of gives it that little bit of white framing. So just an example, I'm going to exit out of this one, and I have another one somewhere. They just disappear. So make sure you have the date up here. The information of the person that you're sending the letter to should be right here, and then you will you'll have the salutation. So dear so and so, and this person, I'm going to correct this now. It should be a not a semicolon, but a colon. And it's not working. Anywho, that should be a colon there. I don't know why my computer doesn't want to put it. But it should be a colon, not a comma. So this would be considered a business letter. So in your book, on page 169 of your book, it talks about business letters, and it gives a good example of one. And a cover letter is formatted very similarly to a business letter, so that'd be another good example as well. But you put colons in a business letter instead of a comma, okay? And for whatever reason, my computer does not want to put a colon. My shift is not working. So here, this person, in the intro of the cover letter, has stated the position they are seeking, so senior principal, clinical specialist, and where they found it. So you want to let them know what position you're searching for and where you found it. So maybe it's LinkedIn, maybe it's on Indeed.com, wherever it may be. If you put a newspaper, make sure you italicize the newspaper. That's just grammatically correct way to do it. And then they talk about how they're confident, their extensive experience and customer service skills, ability to effectively build and maintain lasting positive relationships, allow them to meet the demands of such a fast-paced environment. So what they did there was they took some of their qualifications and kind of mingled them in there because that is what this person is looking for. Then they give their information, their background here in the middle, and then they close it here with it, they're interested again. They repeat some of the relative information of their background that's relevant to what the job they are wanting to get. They ask for the interview at the bottom and, restate their phone number, email address, etc. One thing I might do different is I might put my information down here, my phone number, my email at minimum. You can never put it too many times as far as you want to make it easy for them to contact you. But that's just a kind of an example, like if you're just going to write one without using a template, it's not hard. If you set those margins to 1 inch all the way around, it makes it just kind of give it that more polished look. I am going to show you one more thing in Word real quick. So here I just opened Word, and if you don't know where to start and you would rather use a template, I'm going to show you how to do that real quick. So if you open Word, okay, you can, if you look over here, you can go new. There's different templates here, but I have the templates open, and there's resumes, there's cover letters. So there's just some examples of different templates they have, and they include resumes and cover letters, and some of them, like this resume and this cover letter, they match. Okay, so like if you want to do that, just be careful with the template. They're kind of hard to manipulate. Like, make sure that you have all the required information in your cover letter. They're just a little hard to manipulate as far as their design, but I'll just pull one up blindly. So here they have email, telephone, your address, city, zip, etc. And then they give you this little space. So I assume that you're not going to be able to fully use your white space here. So, you can always type it in, or type it in a plain blank Word doc and copy and paste it in here and see what it looks like. There's other ones. I just pulled that one up just as an example, but anyway, so Word does have several templates. Just make sure that you do submit it as a Word doc, or whatever that looks like, because I cannot edit PDFs and whatnot, and I cannot open pages on my work computer. If you use a Mac, I do have a Mac, but I don't always use it for work. So Word doc makes it seamless and easy. So please make sure that you do submit it as a Word doc. But anyways, I just wanted to go through all that. I hope I wasn't too wordy. I was trying to be concise, as concise as possible. But once again, make sure that you check out, can't get Word to go right now. Check out the tips that I provided for you. And if you have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. And hopefully I will be chatting with you soon.